just endure it or get to like it or?
Wearing high heels? Well, I wear high heels in life too.
I mean, but to do stunts in high heels and...
I think it was a challenge,
Yeah.
but doing the stunts was a challenge on its own.
Okay.
So, yeah, the heels added a little bit more to it, but
Yeah.
it made her a more, I think, visually interesting character. So I put up with it. A lot of stuff with this movie, we all pushed ourselves further than we ever had in the name of creating something interesting and new.
Okay. Yeah.
So, in this movie you play a program, not a human. So I suppose you have to change the way you express feeling, the way you move, and probably even the way you think. Has that been difficult to change?
I think if you approach a character that's not human with that perspective, I think it can steer you wrong. I think you have to maintain an understanding of what it is to be human and infuse human emotions and feelings into this character, even if they were constructed as a program. So, I mean, it's all in order to make it an empathetic character. So with Cora, okay, so she's not human in the way that I'm human, but she is also a creature that feels pain, that feels loss, that feels hope, and has gone through tremendous suffering. And so I looked into history to find characters that would inspire me for her, and that's how I came upon Joan of Arc for her. But I think that what makes her different than humans is that she's better than humans in her in her heart. She's a completely compassionate being, totally selfless, and so that's an interesting challenge on its own, to create someone who is never doing things for themselves. And I found that really interesting, and I think I'm happy with how it turned out. I haven't seen the whole movie, but I'm pretty sure I like how Cora turned out.
We talked about the costumes a bit earlier, but there's also something in the press material how these costumes, if you needed to have a bathroom break, you needed it be scheduled, and was that a crazy idea, or did you just...
Again, anytime you're trying something difficult and new, it's not going to be normal. I mean, if I was a race car driver or a pilot in the Air Force, it's its own experience. And when it comes to like pee breaks, we learned very quickly that it was going to be a challenge, but we got better at it. I have to say, by the end, I was a 5-minute break, so I became quite a pro.
Yeah. And
We have time for 2 more questions.
oh, I have Francesco ask one more.
No, you can.
Okay. Well, you can also maybe share what's gonna be your favorite story about making this movie.
My favorite story about making this movie, gosh.
If there's plenty, just name one then.
Well, there's a really awesome fight sequence
Okay.
in the end of Lion Club, and it's a sequence that Garrett and I trained for months. And I remember the first time we did it completely in the suits with the booming Daft Punk soundtrack, with the stunt guys who were the ones we were fighting against, with the weapons and the adrenaline, and we completed it, and it felt so good. It felt like it all came together, and we couldn't wait to do it again and again and again. And it was physically the hardest work I've ever done. And to keep up the emotions, and it's a pivotal scene in the movie, and a lot happens in it, and it was a long sequence. But that moment, realizing that I had done it, that when I first saw the stunt guy show me that choreography, I said, there's no way. There's no way I'm going to be able to do that. And then I did it, and I just felt a tremendous sense of relief and accomplishment.
Can you show us some moves?
No, now I'm so out of shape. I could never.
Of course we're not.
Cora is somewhere deep inside me, but under many layers.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, really? So, can you also have any... Did you shoot with Michael Sheen?
Yes.
And can you also share some... what's it like to film with him, as well as...
He's wonderful. He's so funny. He brought a whole other energy to the movie, a real kind of surreal, wild, David Bowie-esque.
Steven wishes he hosted the Comic-Con instead of I don't know. Is he
Oh,
that
really?
funny or?
He's very funny.
Okay.
He's very, very funny. And I think that the original Tron was very funny.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that Michael added a bit of comedy to our story.
Okay.
And just added a whole surreal element.
Okay.
It's a very interesting character because he's not our ultimate villain.
Yeah.
But he's not a good character.
Mm.
And he turns on us. And he just, Michael, being brilliant,
Okay.
arrived with a really interesting interpretation of
Okay.
Castor.
Okay.
And gave 100% every single take. Watching him act was really exciting. I'm
Even
a
with his
big
hair?
fan of his. Even with his hair?
Yeah, no more.
I mean, I love, like, he has no fear of
Okay.
looking ridiculous. It was all about making this character a creature from another world.
Yeah, he stuck out in the footage just more, even though with no audio.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
You didn't see it with audio?
His parts, some
Oh,
parts.
he's in the trailer.
Yeah. No, there was some sequences where they showed us the effects, and
Oh,
his
okay.
audio wasn't filled in yet. So, but he
Ah.
was already making some kind of impact on us who were viewing
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
it. You guys had audio all the time, though.
Good.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.